Shut up, Ma. I'm with my friends.
Hi, Mrs. Krabappelwitz.
What are you doing down there that's so important?
Well, you see, to put it simply, Ma, it's time for Talkin' Nerdy, the nerdy talk show where I ask my guests to talk nerdy to me. Oh, my. You are listening to Talking Nerdy, the phenomenal nerdy talk show where I phenomenally talk to my phenomenal nerdy guests about phenomenalness. Yeah, that's right, Scuddy. You hit that phenomenal counter. This is DJ Frost, and you are listening to Talking Nerdy, the nerdy talk show where I ask my lovely guests to talk nerdy to me. As you already heard, I'm joined by DJ Scuddy.
Hello there.
And DJ Orange.
Sup?
And, we're going to talk nerdy. Now with a phenomenal counter. Yes.
That one counts, too.
Yes. I literally have said it so many times in the past few weeks that they deemed it necessary to count how many times I say it.
And for every count that goes on this, you donate $1 to me.
That's not part of the deal.
It is now.
No, it's not.
I've altered the deal. Pray that I don't alter it further.
Well, I'm going to alter the deal and say that we will post on the DJ Frost Facebook page how many phenomenals I say at the end of this phenomenal show. All right, sure. With a screenshot.
They only count when they come from you, though.
It's true. Because I'm the only one who says it. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing fantastic tonight. I mean, you guys?
Well, I'm doing fine. At least I'm not drinking a horrible milkshake.
Oh, yeah. We were just watching some YouTube and the Iron Gut Challenge.
Yeah.
Iron Stomach.
Iron Gut, Iron Stomach. It's all the same, man. It's gross.
It's very gross. Like,
wow.
what? Like, if you had to combine 3 terrible things, but maybe one okay thing into a drink and drink it, what would those things be? Things?
I don't know. I wouldn't choose horrible things. I'd choose nice, yummy things.
Yes, but it's the hat of woe.
It is the hat of woe and disappointment and agony. I heard it called all 3 of those things.
Yeah, all of those things. I may actually put together one of those because I think it would be funny.
Oh, no, I don't think it would be funny.
No.
I mean, who'd you make drink it, though?
There's one for each of us. That's the funny part.
Yeah,
no.
I guess it could be funny when it's not my turn. Anyway, this week in nerd news, go Scuddy.
All right, I've got a couple of neat things concerning Destiny and the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite that have come out.
Okay, go. Talk about it.
All right, so earlier we were discussing, I was explaining to my colleagues here that there is a new system for coloring your armor in Destiny 2, and it's kind of not great.
No, I understand it's a trade-off. You get it once and then put it on an armor, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of like dyes in Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah.
Except harder to get.
Yeah.
And you can't make them.
So, but what it is exactly is apparently I've never played either Destiny game, but if I had, this would definitely be an annoyance to me. I would love to be able to instantly change the color of my armor to whatever horrible thing that I would like to have.
I know, it's just a convenient, like, I'm feeling blue today, and then all my armor is now blue.
Yeah, but you can't, and you select your colors, and then it applies to all your armor all at once.
Exactly.
It's great.
Agreed.
But now the system is your colors come in consumable little packets that you use on one piece of armor at a time. Yeah. And then it binds to it.
And then you can never use that color again.
It's just, I don't know. That just seems wasteful. I mean, I guess they want people to grind more.
Yeah, that's what the statement was. They wanted to be like, we want our players to feel like they're earning more stuff when they grind.
But I don't want to grind things. I want to like get it and forget it, and like coloring my armor shouldn't be part of that.
No, you just like they say, you just kind of end up sitting on a pile of them and you never use them because you never know when the next bit of armor you get is going to be better for you or not.
Yeah, I know. It's like I mean, especially in an RPG type game, which Destiny tends to play like.
Yeah, I was
particularly
saying that.
MMOs.
Yeah, MMOs and RPGs, especially if you get like the Phoenix Down feathers for most of the Square Enix games.
Oh yeah, but at a certain point, I don't even use Phoenix Down because like
Resurrection.
I have Resurrection. Phoenix Down is really useful to keep on hand though, and I end up with like 50,000 of them. But you know, same difference.
It's like how you get like 50 full restores and you never use any of them.
Oh yeah, well I never need to use any of them in Pokemon.
I mean, like the first few times you've ever done the Elite Four ever, you just have to have them.
Oh well, in Pokemon Red and Blue, you definitely had to have them.
Oh yeah,
there is no. Yeah, you have to have them.
And it's well totally unfair when they use them. They're not allowed to.
Well, they can use it once or twice a battle.
Yeah, it felt like they used it every time, though, and it always annoyed me.
Yeah.
That's later versions.
Yeah. Well, no, the later versions, they've limited it to one or two times. And they actually limit in the gyms how many you can use.
Really?
Well, how many they can use. You can use as many as you want.
I was about to say, that sounds really terrible.
It's not terrible because like they use a potion and then they use a super potion in the next gym and what
I meant like to impose a limit on how many potions or whatever the player can use.
Oh no, they would never do that. That'd be stupid.
No.
Hey.
Then no.
I mean it wastes one of your turns, so it's a trade-off. But not having your Pokemon faint, it's a good trade.
Seems reasonable to me.
Agreed. I cannot fathom using it on an X attack or X defense or anything like that. It just seems like a waste.
No, those are... Why even? I mean, it doesn't even last forever.
No, you might as well just use Growl or like Bulk Up or one of those other moves that actually does better stuff and doesn't use an item.
Yeah.
I always sell my X whatevers for money.
For the very little amount of money you get from it.
You get a couple hundred Poke.
But at later stages of the game, that couple hundred doesn't mean much. I mean, sure, it adds up.
No.
No.
Early in the game, though.
The best item to get is the mount coin.
The amulet coin?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hold item that doubles your money from, or doubles or 1.5 times your money from trainer battles.
Yeah, heck
it's a good one. I mean, I took that in 6th generation X and Y to the Maison right outside of
the Battle Mansion.
Yeah, no, not the mansion, not the Maison. The Maison's in the final area. No, the one where you can have people come in and you challenge them.
Yeah, they
pay real good. So with an amulet coin, they pay real good. I had like 10 million Poke.
Nice. But yeah, so apparently special loot box engrams have a chance of giving you the colors you're allowed to use on one piece of armor at a time. And then you throw it away because you get better armor.
Yeah.
I'm seeing DLC.
Yeah.
It's definitely a microtransaction scheme at its worst.
I hate microtransactions. Can we talk about how much I hate microtransactions?
I don't think anybody really likes them.
I mean, people with a lot of
the only two companies that use them are Microsoft and PlayStation.
I wouldn't say that specifically. I mean, a lot of app games use microtransactions.
Yeah.
I mean, we both play Orange Fire Emblem Heroes. That has microtransactions. You can buy orbs.
Yeah.
But, it's not optional. It's optional. I mean, console. I mean, Square Enix does them, but that's because they have to. Like, I forget who told them they had to, but one of the companies they work with says, you must include these. So they put
PlayStation.
They put really weak sauce ones in there. Yeah. Like in Bravely Default and Bravely Second. You could technically buy some potions that gave you SP, which is like special power, which lets you Bravely Second.
Or keep it on a sleep.
Or you could just close your DS while it's on, while the game is running, and then let it charge up. They made it so weak sauce that you didn't have to buy anything. You never had to. They even said, look, these aren't necessary. Also, make sure you check with your parents before you buy them. Make sure this is what you really want. Like, really, we don't need the money. Just don't bother, kid.
Yeah, there's only one game I can think of that that Nintendo ever put out that I ever fiddled with that had microtransactions, and it was that weird little, I guess, mini game badge collecting thing.
Oh, the badge arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it wasn't like a full game. It was like a freeware thing that...
Yeah, it was a freeware that you could waste extra money from if you had to 100% everything.
Yeah, but most people Don't need to.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
no,
what are the
no.
badges going to do for you anyhow?
Not much.
Not much at all.
And also in the Destiny 2 area of things, I have word from, what is this website I'm staring at? Who cares?
I don't know.
Who cares? But it says, it seems reputable to me, and it's telling me that that Bungie does not want you to have 3 of the same class anymore.
What?
Yeah, because you know how you have your main and then you
You
create...
can have, subs and alts and things.
Yeah, they don't want you to have subs anymore. You can have your alts, they just have to be different classes.
Oh, Bungie, Bungie has been pretty bad recently.
Yeah,
Like Destiny 2, I've heard, is a great game,
oh yeah.
but it's starting to, piss off some of the older players who, were there for Destiny 1 and played the whole time.
Yeah.
I understand that. That is...
And for the ones that have been older there for Bungie when they've been playing Halo.
Yeah.
Specifically, the way that they are discouraging people from having multiple alts of the same class is by having those other 2 alts
Have to be those classes?
Well, no, they'll allow it, but the rewards you get and the engrams you get will be of significantly lower value than your main.
That's so stupid.
So you can have it, but you'll get worse stuff that isn't really worth giving to your main.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to put the time in and effort to get extra stuff for their main, why not? Just let them. It's stupid. Like, if I wanted to play this class and then wanted to have a different class, the same, but that functioned on a different spec or a different sort of, aspect of that class, I shouldn't be penalized for that.
No. And
you don't see World of Warcraft saying, oh, you can't have 2 paladins, you can't have 5 druids because there's 17 druid trees now or some craziness like that.
Oh, jeez.
No, there's 4. But that's more than any other class. But it's you don't see Blizzard saying, nope, you can't do that, and you'll get less loot.
Nah.
They don't care.
No, they don't. I guess the intent is to encourage people to try new play styles. I don't know for sure, but
by forcing them.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not a good way to do off your fan base.
Let's let the listeners give us a call on that. What do you guys think, listeners? Let us know on the YouTube chat. Let us know by sending a message or posting on the DJ Frost Facebook page. Tweet at me at DJ Frost WLMC. Let us know what you think about this, because I think us 3 are in agreement that it's pretty not cool.
Yeah.
So, let us know.
Voice your opinion.
Yeah, voice your opinion. We'd love to hear it. We love hearing from you guys and interacting with you. It's the best thing. It's the best part of our day, really.
It gives such glee.
Speaking of best parts of my day, this morning, I logged on to Pokemon Moon for the first time in a long time.
Yeah?
You know why?
What?
They're giving away Pikachus with Ash's original hat this week.
Oh, yeah, you showed me those pictures.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Yeah?
Yep, until Monday, the 25th, there will be Pikachus with the Ash hat from Kanto and Johto. Then for a week after that will be the Hoenn hat. The week after that will be Sinnoh, then Unova, then Kalos, then Alola. And if you go to a showing of the movie Pokemon I Choose You, which comes out in November, you'll get a QR code for the one he wears in the movie, as well as a cool Pokemon card. So, yeah. I think I'm super excited. And it's all building up to Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Sequels.
Yay! Although, I hope they don't pull a Black 2, White 2.
Yeah, I'll admit I only bought White 2 and not the one before that because I figured, if it's just the same thing, I'm not missing anything.
No, it was slightly different.
It was slightly different. I mean, it was definitely worth buying, but there wasn't too much that was different. With this one, I hope there's enough that's different. And it looks to be that they're going to do that good of a job. They're going to make it different.
Yeah, I think it looked like it's the second person that's trying to go after the champion.
Yeah, it looks like it's a definite direct sequel rather than...
Than a 3 years later sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Silver followed Red and Blue, Gold and Silver followed Red and Blue. Black 2, White 2 did technically follow Black and White. So it's going to be similar to that, but hopefully the story is different enough, and there's cool new areas and places to explore.
Yeah, they opened up the map more.
They apparently did open up the map more. So I'm looking forward to it.
Including the small island of Pikachus.
I hope that's there because I really, really want to see it. Anyway.
Frost, you're disappointing me. The counter's only at 7. It's sat there for
We
like 10
haven't
minutes.
been talking about things that excite me like that.
Like, you
Yet.
mean this Friday?
Oh, you mean like this Friday? Yes, you mean how Gold and Silver are returning?
Yeah.
They're coming out for the 3DS on Virtual Console. They're going to be phenomenal.
There it is.
It's going to be so great. I'm so excited. I'm probably going to buy Silver and relive my childhood. And oh, wait, I'm not going to have time, am I?
No, you're going to be doing so many other things.
Oh, my God, this weekend's so awful for me.
No, it's not.
No, it's going to be okay. I mean, I get to see my wife on Saturday. It'll be cool.
Yay.
I love my wife. She's phenomenal. Yeah.
I was about to say, if she doesn't excite you like that, I was going to have to jump across this table at you.
No, it's true. She's the most phenomenal thing in my life. But, that's Saturday. I've got to live through Friday first.
Yeah.
Oh,
Friday night is super important.
it is super important.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's going to be super important.
Well, it's super important because that's when you get your pizza and you go together and get together with your friends and you play Smash and
That's also...
watch scary movies, or maybe not scary movies. I don't know what you're into.
Scary movies are slowly dying.
I wouldn't
Do
say
you
so.
think so? Have you seen it?
Yeah, have you seen it?
No.
They're back, baby.
It's back in force.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like clowns and I don't like dolls.
Now you like them even less.
Yeah, I like them so much less. Nor do I like zombified people.
Oh, let's go away from the morbidity because we already did that this season.
Oh, but Morbid is fun and it wasn't that bad.
You just said I dislike dolls and clowns even less than I did before.
So, people are allowed to dislike things.
They are, but I want to talk about something that I really do like.
All right.
Yes, on Friday, last Friday, that is, the 15th, I went to my friendly local game store, went in, purchased a game, left, and have been having fun with it ever since.
Which
Even
game
though it's
is
driving
that?
you nuts.
It is driving me nuts. Metroid Samus Returns.
Yeah, it's out now?
It's so good. I mean,
It's a remix of 2.
it's a remake, but it doesn't feel like a remake. There's enough original content in there and a different play style that it feels like a new game. And it holds the same difficulty that Samus 2 did.
Is it still like 2D or
No, it's 3D 2D. So it's that weird
2.5D?
Yeah, 2.5D.
That weird dimension that Paper Mario really operates.
Really excelled at, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, all the models are 3D, all the things, but you're in a 2D platformer.
The cutscenes are 3D.
The cutscenes are 3D.
I mean, they would have to be, wouldn't they?
Yes. And yes, there is 3D feature on the 3DS you could use.
But who uses
it?
that?
I mean, especially since they've literally released 2DSs with the same specs, just no 3D,
And
for like $50 less.
but you can't fold them closed.
Yes, you
enough.
can.
Oh, you can
the
now.
the 2DS XLs.
You can fold close.
Yes, you can fold close. They are the 3DS without the 3D.
Huh.
And they're coming out with a Pokeball and Pikachu version of them in November.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're coming out with an orange one too. I think I know a certain large fruit in the room.
I'm
is
good
gonna-
with mine.
Oh, like you wouldn't want the orange one.
He's secretly rolling around on the floor in glee.
Yes.
No. There's some things you don't know.
He just happens to have the mic in front of him all the time.
Yes. It's a magical mystery mic. No, he's totally fine with this 3DS. I mean, he's got one of the new 3DSs as well, so he doesn't need to purchase one.
No.
I haven't touched my 3DS in a long time. There's just not really been anything on it that interested me.
Oh,
There's,
Very long time.
well,
there's-
stuff is starting to come out, I imagine.
Yeah,
There's Minecraft now.
Yeah, Minecraft is now on the 3DS.
but I have it on PC. Why would I want to play it on something that makes my hands cramp?
Cross-network play.
Yeah, they just released cross-platform play for the 3DS, the Switch, the Xbox, Windows 10 edition. So basically all the Pocket editions and console editions, except for PlayStation. Because apparently PlayStation is all against cross-platform play. But no, Orange, just last night, got his 3DS and his iPad together, and his Windows 10 edition, had all of them going in the same world.
Wow.
I had the threesome of myself.
It was probably a little bit odd. Just a little bit.
I'm sure there's some kind of other joke to be made there.
But we're not going to make it.
All right.
Nope.
It is odd looking at yourself through 3 screens.
I bet you you have the same skin on all your accounts, right?
Yes.
So yes, that is probably very odd.
How do you tell which is which?
By looking at the screen.
By looking at the screen.
But then you get that weird soul swapping thing going on.
No, because you got your arms in the one that you're playing as, and then you can see the other two. You might not be able to tell between the other two, but I mean, whatever works, right?
Oh, those poor avatars must be so confused.
They must be. Oh. I mean, imagine if one of them was a spectator account, it'd just be a floating head.
Oh, no.
Technically, they're invisible on a server, though. So
no, you can actually set it up if you're the owner.
I'm confused.
Yes.
Are you talking about a spectator or a beholder?
Spectator. Yeah, spectator. Well, also beholders, but beholders are mean and nasty. Spectator accounts are just camera accounts.
Okay.
Yeah, a spectator account is
just a floating head.
yeah, it's in game mode. It's in spectator mode. Game mode 3, I believe, is what it is.
4.
Is it 4? No, 4 is adventure. I think it's 3 because you've got 0 is creative, 1 is survival. No, 2 is adventure, 3 is spectator.
Yeah.
But you can't do adventure unless you're like in adventure mode Minecraft or something like that.
Nah.
I don't know. You don't need it. Anyway, it's really phenomenal that they decided to do this cross-platform play. I think it's really cool and something I hope other game companies will emulate.
Well, they added everything that is in the original game. Up to a point.
Yeah, up to a point. It's not at the same level as Java Edition, which is the new name for PC Edition for whatever reason. I couldn't tell you why. And like, I think there's a mod out there that just removes the Java Edition under the Minecraft logo. Because on the PC version, it used to just say Minecraft. It didn't say Pocket Edition. It didn't say PC Edition. It didn't say anything like that.
Actually, all the Pocket Editions now say just Minecraft.
Are you sure they don't say Pocket Edition?
No. They have a random saying under them.
They always have that. But now the PC version has Java Edition, as well as the random sayings, of course. So yeah, it's interesting, to say the very least. And some people don't like it. I mean, it's always been called Java Edition, I guess, at Mojang, but everybody just assumed that Minecraft was the PC version and Minecraft Pocket was everything else, or Minecraft Console.
Well, Minecraft Pocket added a few new things that basically transferred into the other game.
A little bit, yeah. The observers started out in Pocket and are now in
the beetroot.
Yeah, beetroot as well. But I mean, most of the features start out on PC and move to Pocket or Console, which are now the same edition, I believe, because they're cross-platform compatible.
So you can start one on one thing and then move it over to the next.
Yep.
Keep going.
It's really cool. I mean, you can literally take your Minecraft world anywhere. I mean, you always could, but... Oh, did you guys ever see those silly bracelets?
Which ones?
They were put out by Mojang, and it was a bracelet. I think it might have even been a watch, but like it had a flash drive in it that had Minecraft installed on it and like enough storage for a few worlds, and it was like $80.
What? Why would you pay $80 for that though?
That was the point. Minecraft is such a small file. I mean, it's a bit bigger than it used to be.
You can play it on an iWatch.
Yeah, you can put it on a just $5 flash drive and take it around.
I knew it was going to be the new Doom.
Yeah, it never. It never like sold. It just didn't sell.
And now it's selling like everywhere.
Yeah, well, no, the watch just still doesn't sell. Like I'm pretty sure that I
know the watch doesn't sell. I'm talking Minecraft itself.
Oh, Minecraft is one of the most, if not the most, sold game ever. So
I think Players Unknown Battleground may have words with you about that.
No, Minecraft is still ahead. It is just the most current on Steam. Yeah, but PUBG, Player Unknown's Battleground, just broke the record.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it's now surpassed Dota as the most played game
on Steam,
even though it's in early access.
Like ever. And apparently I haven't seen a lot of it, but apparently the early accessness really still shows like super bad.
Yeah, you can follow the world.
Yeah, no.
That's always fun.
You can shoot yourself through the world by going in a car and doing something weird. I mean, the ability to drive the car was added like maybe a month ago. Something really recent, but like, I mean, it's doing really well. And
you can also sometimes submarine if you jump wrongly.
yeah, no, it's buggy as all get out.
But that's always
people
like,
love it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people love games like this specifically because of the bugs. Remember when everyone was conversing about what silly bugs they found in Skyrim?
Yeah, but you always expect bugs in a Bethesda game.
And
Or
Always.
the original Halo with the bugs of jumping on people.
Yeah. The bugs in video games are they're fun.
They're fun to mess around with.
Yeah, they really, really are.
watching a cart and horse slowly drift off into the sky while
Yep.
an old lady drifts off into the floor.
Yep. Pathing. I can tell you from experience, it is a pain in the butt to path correctly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You have programming experience.
Game design element in an engine.
Ah.
So, yeah, like the Unreal Engine I worked around with for a little bit. This was before Unreal 4 engine. It might have even before Unreal 3 engine. But
Yeah, they got better.
no, they got better. But the program, the Unreal Engine editor, is buggy as all get out.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it was like really hard to get things right, and it was super finicky. You had to like backdoor half the stuff if you wanted to work right. And if you did something just the wrong way, the program would freeze every time.
Oh, no.
Sounds like the
Oh,
Unity
that's
engine.
super annoying. That's kind of like what Steam's been doing to me as of late. And apparently not just me. A lot of people I know are complaining that Steam just refuses to open sometimes.
Yes,
I
yes,
have
it
not had
does.
that happen yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was playing Don't Starve Together with a friend of mine a few days ago, over the weekend, and both of us had to mess with our computers like an awful lot just to make it even open.
Steam is finicky.
Well, yeah, it's finicky, but it's never been so finicky that I had to restart my computer like 3 times for
Hey.
it to happen.
Blame the PUBGers.
Really?
I don't know. It's a convenient way.
Well, yeah,
Don't
they're a
you
good,
think?
they're a
You
nice
normally-
scapegoat, but scapegoating's not a nice thing to do.
I don't know. A lot of them are kind of dicks.
Oh, have you ever met one?
Yeah.
Have you played it?
No, I'm not really good at shooters. It's not my like style of game.
You're not an FPS.
No, I'm not really an FPS person. I do like Metroid though, but that's not really. I mean, Metroid Prime games are FPSs, but
There are 3.
but they're Metroid, so like it's cool.
Like the most FPS-y I've ever gotten was I guess Fallout. The
Fallout, yeah.
Fallout's 3 and New Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the straight FPS type game. It's got to be like an RPG.
or third-person
Yeah.
shooter.
So you don't like BioShock is what you're telling me.
I haven't played BioShock, so I cannot pass judgment.
BioShock is there's a reason there's so many there's re-releases and people gushing over the plots and all that.
Oh, yes.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like somebody threw up all over Atlas Shrugged, but
Well, it's mostly because of the lore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard BioShock got really
Lori.
bad with Infinite or something.
no, it's not bad. It's just a little convoluted and difficult to understand.
And what about the ending? There was a huge thing about the ending.
It's something, there's like some weirdness about multiverses, but things
Yeah.
always get weird when multiverses happen.
yeah, it could have
When
been
you
bad.
spend-
I mean,
too
we've
much-
all sat here and watched Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
When you spend too much time on the lore and then not enough time on the gameplay, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Although people have really hailed Elizabeth as one of the most useful escort characters that has ever existed.
True that.
Because she actually throws useful things to you when you need them.
Right?
It's pretty great.
It's pretty great. Yeah. Oh, one of our YouTube commenters brought up Warhammer 40k Space Marine. That game was the best thing ever. It was phenomenal. I loved it. It suffered from a really short campaign, though. If it had been longer, it would have just been amazing. And if they'd gotten to make the second and third game they were going to make, it would be one of the best series out there right now.
There are a lot of games that I feel could do amazing things if they could have second and third installments.
Right?
You like some of the classics?
Be more specific.
When you say classic.
Team Fortress.
Team Fortress 2 needs no sequel.
No, it does not.
It is glorious.
It's pretty glorious
game.
the way it is, and I love that it's lasted so long.
I do too. I mean, it's been glorious
Anything from
since
the
day it
orange
came out.
box.
Yeah, no, actually, Half-Life 3. Rest in peace for Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
You lived well.
It's never happening. We have to accept it.
Yeah, but they keep telling us it's in development.
Yeah.
We might see it eventually, but
At
they've
this
got
point, they're just
I think they're sneaky enough to wait till everybody dies down and then they'll bring it out.
yeah.
what, like they did with Duke Nukem Forever? They say it's in development, and it is in development,
and then it flops.
and then you can physically dissect each section of the game and tell what era it was being developed in.
Right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Or Konami's lovely mistakes.
It is an interesting study, though, I guess, in terms of like video game stylistic history.
Yeah.
It's literally a tree with very distinct rings.
Yeah. So, let's see. We got to jump on the hype train right now.
The hype train?
The hype train.
Which one?
All of them. They're all going in the same direction to Hype Town.
Are they all...
Most of them are basically getting
The
ready.
Nintendo hype train, basically.
Yeah, that.
Oh, but what about the hype train for Marvel vs. Capcom?
Oh,
No,
that one crashed in the junction.
Yeah, it did. It crashed the moment people got their collector's editions.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Like those... The box... It's like those little glow lamps that they get...
Yeah.
That you find on, I don't know, Etsy or something?
Yeah.
Those salt lamps.
Yeah. I'm gonna apologize to our YouTube streamers right now because
Stream went down?
OBS is being, well, let's just say it's being a pain.
Finicky.
Yeah, it's being finicky, and it's not doing well. I really apologize to everybody who's watching on YouTube because it's being bad. Oh, look like we're in good health again.
Oh, yeah.
I mostly blame the internet here, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah,
kinda
lately
garbage.
we've been having Wi-Fi outs.
Yeah, pretty much. There have been awful Wi-Fi outs, and our only Ethernet port is hooked up to the main computer here, which we cannot disconnect or else nobody would get anything.
Also, everything explodes.
Everything also explodes. It's the anti-explode port, so we leave it at that. We will hopefully come up with a better solution for this in the future.
Does anybody actually know how to make a not explode port?
Oh, I don't know. Oh God. Oil?
Just dump oil in it? You think that'll help?
Grease it out?
I have a wrench.
Maybe we hit it?
No.
Just hit it with a wrench. That's how
No.
engineer fix things.
Right.
No.
What?
No, that one.
Well, what are your suggestions then?
Something that is fiber optic.
That doesn't help with the exploding port.
Not
It just makes it go faster.
That or liquid nitrogen.
It explodes faster.
It does explode faster because it's faster processing.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
At least YouTube didn't crash. For once, it's not YouTube's fault.
Yay.
Yay.
That can't be said of a lot of things these days.
I know. But anyway, back to the hype train because that's more fun and less crashing.
Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's hype train anyway. Any last words on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? How bad it is?
Well, apparently the models leave things to be desired.
Do they really?
Like, I'm looking at a compilation of some reviews, and
Ooh.
let's see.
So the whole special edition was just
No.
yeah.
It really wasn't worth it.
Yeah,
Let's
track
see.
records with games like that are not well.
Then the story is being described as cringeworthy,
Oh, that's not
or
good.
it's at the very least full of cringeworthy dialogue.
Oh no, that's not good at all.
And somebody is describing the models as like models from Disney Infinity, only spiced up to look more realistic.
Oh god, that's awful.
And when I say realistic, I mean they have more human proportions and shineriness, but still super cartoony and solid like plastic.
Yeah, you mean like some of the Telltale games?
A little bit like that, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, but at least Telltale games have charm to them.
that is true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I heard the gameplay's bad. The special edition's bad.
And
What company developed it? Was it
Marvel or Capcom or both?
It wasn't Marvel. It was probably Capcom.
It's probably Capcom.
Capcom, you fail. You fail. Anyway.
And among other things, one of the mechanics is instead of choosing 3 fighters for your PvP bits, you choose 2 of them and 1 Infinity Stone to get powers from.
Oh, you mean those Easter eggs?
Yeah, the Easter eggs. They just kind of hover behind you and I guess let you control time or magic.
That's so stupid.
Whatever
so stupid.
Whatever that means in this context.
Another one bites the dust.
Find me a table to flip.
There's one in front of you.
No,
but
we're
it has
not
the
flipping
computer.
it. Yeah, we're not flipping this one.
No, flip this one.
No, this is a good table. Anyway, back to the hype train, or should we get on the SS Phenomenal and sail to Awesome Town? Because in a month, actually almost exactly a month, Fire Emblem Warriors comes out, of which I'm getting the special edition, which will actually be value. Because it comes with 3 CDs and like a bunch of art cards, which I could frame up and make look really pretty.
Now, when you say CDs, these have like the soundtrack on them?
Yes, it has the soundtrack on it.
That's the entire game.
That's an awfully robust soundtrack if it needs 3 discs.
It's Fire Emblem.
It's Fire Emblem.
Fair enough.
It's got like songs from, I think, the entire soundtrack of the game, probably some from other Fire Emblem series.
Probably Fates and Awakening.
I'm guessing, yeah. But it's still going to be really cool. Oh, best thing about the Metroid, going back to that for a second, came with a CD, the special edition.
Yeah?
A question from our YouTube feed. Do any of us know about the game Outlast? They've never played it, and it looks kind of creepy, but the Humble Bundle is offering it for free. So I don't know. Have you played Outlast?
Oh, I've
heard of it.
I haven't played it. I've seen gameplay, and I know what it entails. You're the one who said we didn't want to be morbid.
Yeah, so it's morbid.
It's
a scare game.
It is a first-person survival horror game.
In an insane asylum.
Yay.
Full of crazy people.
So yeah.
And all you can do is run from them with your night vision camera.
Technically you're a reporter that is trying to find out about the thing, and then you get on.
I mean, it's got a really good review on Steam, so.
Oh yeah, people love it. I never said it's a bad game. You're the one who doesn't want to be morbid.
I don't want to be morbid, but to help out our listener, it's good on us to check things out.
No, we've watched gameplay of it.
Yeah.
And Outlast 2 is pretty good as well. It's similar stories with a reporter getting stuck in a place, only now that place is like a village of cultists.
Ooh. So yes, out of 24,000-ish reviews, it's got four almost 5 stars, like really close to 5 stars, because Steam does that weird thing. But yeah, it hasn't been Steam Blast, or what do they call it?
Steam bomb?
Yeah, the review bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hailed as one of the more modern greats of horror.
So that's pretty good. I mean, the last horror game I played in any great length was Amnesia.
Yeah. And
that spawned everything.
Oh boy. And I played it in the dark.
Oh no. Why would you?
Why
would you crazy man?
Because me and a few friends got together, turned off all the lights, and then just switched when we died.
The only time I've only ever done something like that with PT.
There might have been adult beverages involved.
Well, I would hope so. That's the only reason you do
That's
it.
the only way to get through it, yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like some version of Jesse Cox and his Scare Squad.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like we've gotten on and off the hype train so much right now.
Well, yeah.
Get back onto the hype train.
We're really bad at staying on topic.
But there's
just
so
to
many
let you know.
You're detouring at all the other stops.
Well, there's different. You got to get off at every exit to see what everything's there.
Yeah,
so it's not really a train anymore. It's like a bus.
Yeah, and horror games are super popular.
They totally are. Totally
Except
popular.
some of them should know.
Well, yeah, some of them are really just not good.
Well, no, it's a lot of people on Steam. There was a time where, back when, not too long ago, when literally anybody could just pay $150 and put whatever garbage they made on Steam.
And then they took out the green light.
I think it's still there, but it's phasing out.
Yeah, like
It's more like
basic-
paid green light.
It's whoever got in the green light gets to stay there, but they're not adding new things from what I remember.
nah, like the most successful good game that I've seen come out of Greenlight that I play myself is Darkest Dungeon.
Okay. And you've talked about that. It's a really good game, you said.
Oh yes, super nice. Super nice.
Good.
But like that's
Creepy.
But that's
Not really.
like a 1 in a million sort of thing. Finding that kind of treasure in the swill.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
green light
the
became.
hidden gems.
In the mire, the hidden gems in the mire, that is the green light.
Not unlike finding success in any of the dungeons.
Oh, fair enough. Anyway, let's I'm just scrolling through the Anime News Network to see if we can get some anime news going up in here.
I'm searching for some tabletop news.
Ooh, we got lots of cool things running right now. So thrilling watching us just look for stuff.
Anything to talk about?
Let's see. We are just basically a couple weeks out from the fall season of anime,
This is true.
and there's some really cool stuff coming up.
And summer anime is slowly ending.
Well, yeah, they are ending this week or next week, depending on when they started. But there's Black Clover, which looks really cool. There's Ancient Magus's Bride, which seems to be very popular. And my personal favorite, Food Wars Season 3.
Yep.
Food War, eh?
Food Wars.
Iron Chef.
It's based on an academy where all the best chefs of not just Japan, but the entire world go to train. And like people get expelled every day for not doing well enough.
I see. I just
premise
pulled it
of
up right now, and it looks similar to another manga that I had read at one point because I have no idea why I read this one. I think it was called Yakate Japan.
I don't know.
It was kind of built like a shonen anime, only it was about cooking.
Interesting.
And it was based in reality, and the main character's goal was like every other country in the world has some kind of national bread except Japan. So my goal in life is to make a national bread for Japan.
What are you talking about? They've got melon bread.
Well, yeah, but I guess that didn't exist at the time.
No, it totally existed. I think that I get the joke of the of what they were trying to do. It sounds really entertaining.
It was. He like had magic hands or something that let him knead dough super well. Like it started to rise even as he kneaded it because his hands were unusually warm, and they're like, he has the hands of the gods.
This sounds so much less serious than Food Wars.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they treat it so seriously, though.
Yeah.
It's like, you folded the croissant too many times, it's gonna burn. No, we have to fold it more. And then they hit it with it comes out burned. And they hit it with a spoon, and the burned layers fall away to reveal a glowing, glittery, perfect croissant.
So stupid.
I know.
Okay.
No. But anyway, but the major feature about this academy and Food Wars is that you could challenge anybody in the school to a shokugeki or a basically Iron Chef.
Okay.
But it's not a full course meal. It's one dish. And you could challenge anybody to it for whatever ends you want. You want funding for your club and you want to steal it from that club? Go for it. You want to expel that student because they slapped your honor or whatever? Go for it. You want to like win somebody else's prize cutting knife? Go for it. Like it's how they settle disputes.
So it's Yu-Gi-Oh, but with food.
Delicious, delicious food porn. That is what it is. Because they're drawn beautifully. They are a master at drawing.
Geez, you're going to make me hungry
No,
again.
it makes me hungry every time I read it and watch it. Like, it's really, really phenomenal. It's one of my favorite series out there. And actually, my wife just picked it up. She loves it. Unfortunately, it makes her hungry. so she can't read it at night.
Which is why I don't understand food porn. It just makes you hungry, and then you can't have the food that you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really into cooking. Like, I love cooking. I love coming up with new dishes. So I find it fascinating on that sort of aspect. But the overarching plot line for it is really, really good. Like, the food dishes are really accurate. They have a professional chef on staff to help write it.
Ooh.
Yep. The author of it is somewhat versed in it, and it's just really, really well done.
I might actually have to look at this.
Yeah, no.
And if I remember right, you said that on the back page there's actual recipes.
Yeah, depending on in every volume, there's at least one recipe, sometimes multiple. So each chapter generally ends with a recipe if something was cooked in that chapter. It could be from something from that chapter or something from the chapter before, but you typically get a few recipes per book or per volume, I should say, and they're really, really good. I mean, I'm not nearly skilled enough to make half of them, but if you're able to cook them like that, like, they're probably really, really good. They look really, really good. I'm gonna get really hungry. Let's move on, please.
Talk about no food.
No food.
Well, except for that food.
Think about damn curry.
Oh. Damn, curry.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, where they like construct a dam out of rice and put the curry on one side and the ingredients on the other. And then as you eat the rice, the curry flows through the dam.
That sounds really good.
And then soaks up the other stuff on the other side. So you like get to wipe out a mini civilization while you eat.
What about that manga that just came out?
Which one?
The promotional thing.
Which one?
About being stuck in a dungeon.
Oh, wait. Which one? There's a lot of those.
Food.
Oh, Delicious in Dungeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Delicious in Dungeon. Another food-based anime, or not anime, manga that I picked up recently. It's on its second volume here, and I think third or fourth in Japan, something like that. It's about these adventurers who get wiped out in the dungeon, so who basically don't have much left. Like, it's equivalent to an RPG, like a pen and paper, where they got all the way down there. One of their party members died and stayed behind to get everybody out.
Yeah.
So now they're basically got nothing left but their armors and weapons. Like,
oh, no.
And they don't have any supplies, no nothing. And they need to go back fast to get her body before it gets dissolved by the dragon that ate her, so that they could resurrect her, because it's like that. But they don't have any food. They're like, and they're wondering what to do. And the leader of the party goes, "That's a walking mushroom. You know what we're going to do? We're going to eat the dungeon." And so they
that's a brilliant idea.
It's a brilliant manga.
Maybe not with the mushroom, but...
No. Like, they go through and they come across a dwarf who's been living in the dungeon for like 2 decades and who knows everything there is to know about cooking the dungeon.
Huh.
And, like, he joins up with their party and, like, it's so great. It, like, makes me so happy. And it's really, really clever. Like, you'd think, like, there's a part... Oh, actually, I'm not going to talk about it because spoilers.
Yeah.
But it's very, very clever. Like, they take monsters that we know and love and also hate from, like, Pathfinder, D&D, video games, things like that.
So you're telling me that
Yeah.
I can cook the Mind Flayer.
They haven't brought that up. No, but, like, slimes and...
the thing that has no soul.
Yeah, mushroom men, things like that. I'm not going to go any further than that. They take those and make normal, quote unquote, dishes out of monster bits.
Huh.
But it looks like real food and it tastes amazing. And there's an elf in their party and she won't have it. She will not have it, but she eats it out of hunger and like, this is so good, but it's so gross.
Because she's just like, I refuse to eat these because they're monsters.
Pretty much. I am averse to eating monsters.
She's like, oh, that's a oddly specific form of vegetarianism.
No, I mean, she eats them.
Well,
it's not vegetarianism.
Well, I mean, you eat anything when you're desperate enough.
Yeah, and it's like us Americans thinking about eating bugs. That kind of aversion.
I see.
Or the worst smelling fruit ever known to exist.
You mean durian?
Yes.
Apparently it tastes really good. It just smells like the worst ever.
Yeah,
so I've been told.
Yeah, the innards don't look that appealing either.
No, but again, I've been told it's really sweet and nice tasting.
If you can get
I
past
imagine
the
they'd
smell.
be popular for a reason.
Yeah, they're a delicacy in the country where they're grown, I believe. In the countries where they are grown.
Trees, because they grow in trees.
They do grow on trees. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm looking at the wiki page for, I was saying it wrong, Yakitate Japan.
Yakitate Japan.
And like the name, part of the name is supposed to be a pun because the Latinate for bread is pan.
Yeah.
So Japan.
Oh, I see. It's
Japanese bread.
Oh, pan. That's so funny.
I love how the Japanese are super into puns.
Oh my god, it was actually an anime too, I think.
Oh, really?
Maybe?
Oh, the part where he like uses a ball of yogurt to make a bowl out of bread for curry.
Yep, it was turned into an anime.
It exploded in the oven and it made like a parachute sound. He's just like, oh no, somebody sabotaged my souffle or whatever it is I was doing. I have to think of something that'll cook in less than 10 minutes.
Oh my. This just in from Kotaku. Doom runs well on the Switch. So, for those of you who didn't know, Doom is coming to the Switch. And apparently, Kotaku got it early because, of course, they did. It's Kotaku.
Yeah. The new
and
version,
it runs well.
The new Doom. Though.
Yeah, the new Doom, not old Doom.
Although I imagine somebody will find a way to it anyway.
Somebody will find a way. It looks really good. I'm looking at it and it looks really, really good.
Gameplay seems super fun from what I've seen too.
I mean, new Doom, yeah. I've seen my buddy play it.
Brutally punching everything.
I am currently watching the video, obviously on mute, and it looks great. It looks really, really great.
Yeah, take that.
I mean, it's not as crisp and sharp as you
mean the 4K?
A PS4 or it's not going to be in 4K, but you don't need Doom to be in 4K. It's Doom. Play it.
All you need to know is killing aliens.
Yeah, pretty much. Demonic aliens at that.
Demon aliens.
I think they're just demons, actually, aren't they? No, they're demon aliens. They are demon aliens.
Yeah,
it's like Dead Space.
I think they started off. I don't know. They probably started off as one or the other, but for the life of me, I can't remember which.
Yeah.
And then I guess they clarified it in, Doom 3.
I think they started as demons and then became aliens, but they're really demon aliens.
Because Doom 3 takes place in the far future.
Yeah, and then suddenly, because then they're on Mars, and then the reason they happen is because scientists are evil, I guess.
Right, yeah, you can find lore bits, and you actually do have to find the lore bits to get 100% or something.
Yeah, and then in the new Doom, you find lore bits, but Doom guy is just like, I don't need this.
I just want to kill aliens.
Yeah.
I'm the only person left alive. I'm going to kill aliens.
I don't need to know why.
Yeah, pretty much. Wait, I was the subject of scientific testing. Man, screw those scientists. I'm going to kill aliens.
I don't even care about my own backstory. Just let me kill aliens.
Pretty much. There are Easter eggs in the new Doom, though. You can find original levels in the same graphical style, but with the enemies of the new Doom.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep. They're bonus little levels that are thrown in the big levels.
You could say it's phenomenal.
It is.
But it doesn't count when I say it.
No, but it does when I say phenomenal. It is. It's a phenomenal Easter egg. Bethesda oversaw it. I don't remember who actually made it. Doom. I'm going to look up.
It was made by a person much like us in a basement.
Yep. Actually, at this point, they were probably in an office.
But the office was in a basement. That's the narrative I choose to believe.
It actually makes sense because with all the computers and the processing power, you need something place to cool it, and the basement is usually
a basement is a good place to do it because you can vent the heat up.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Regardless of whether it was or not, you will never take my headcanon from me.
Oh, no, I know not to mess with hand cannon.
Well, there's no reason to mess with headcanon. It's headcanon.
No, you don't mess with hand cannon.
Well, hand
you don't mess with hand cannons either.
Are you kidding me? I love playing with hand cannons.
Well, yeah, they're all great until you break your wrist.
Well, that's why you don't actually hold them in your hand.
But then what's the point of the hand cannon if you can't hold it?
You brace it. Yeah, brace it.
You're supposed to use both hands.
Yeah, you're supposed to use...
Those movies lied to me.
Oh, yeah. Heck, even the big guns that you see, the pistols, you have to use both hands.
Yeah. Alucard lied to me.
Well, Alucard's also Alucard. He can use one hand.
He never has to reload.
No, he never does. He's the king of vampires.
Much like Dante, he does not have to reload.
Yes. Yes, he does. Such good times.
Does or doesn't?
Doesn't. Never needs to reload. Yeah. Reloading's for cheesy people.
Cheesy people who you're like cha-ching, and then they just throw
drop their weapon.
Yeah, that new thing like that Reaper does, and that one. There was this one game, Drake and the 99 Dragons.
I've never played it.
It's like, well, practically nobody has because it was a terrible game.
Oh, okay.
It was a terrible game that came out during the time that The Matrix was super popular. So guess what? It was trying to emulate a whole bunch.
The Matrix.
There's so many variations of that.
Yep.
Oh no, there's one of a lawful good to chaotic evil charts.
Oh no, not that. Wait, I actually kind of like that meme now that I'm thinking about it.
Lawful is you'd think it's butter.
I would think it's butter.
Neutral good, you'd butter believe it.
Oh yeah, I would butter believe it. I don't even know what's going on here, Bo.
Chaotic good. Oh God, I wish it were butter. You're proud of me.
I am. I am not proud. You know what? It keeps crashing. I can't deal with this. I don't know what's going on. I have an idea. You keep talking. I'm going to go plug this into an Ethernet cable. You're right.
this butter meme. Yeah, let's quit with the butter.
Yeah, let's quit with the butter.
All right. So I've been getting into painting figurines as of late, and I bought my first few colors.
I love painting minis.
Minis are fun. And I have a griffin and a couple of blink dogs waiting in the wings. And there's like guides, I guess, on the back of how they're supposed to look according to Games Workshop. But
you can paint them whatever you want.
Well, yeah. But I'm like looking at the colors of the blink dogs, and they're all like, it's just a really boring shade of brown, and I guess the recommended colors for the griffin are to make it look like a bald eagle. But I don't want that. I want my griffin to be all pretty and maybe snowy white with a blue wash over it to sink into the corners.
Yeah, if you want somebody like who's decent knows what he's doing when he paints his figurines, then I would go with Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer, you say, is he like he's a professional at this?
Well, yes, I would say.
Matt Mercer mini painting. I can't spell.
But Matt Mercer does do mini figurine painting.
Painting is 2 words: pain and ting.
Painting.
Where does Matt get his minis? Minis that Matt uses? These are...
Are you guys talking about Matt Mercer?
Yeah, about him painting his.
Matt Mercer's really awesome. Like, he's a great voice actor, too.
Is he? Who's he been?
A lot of people.
That's not very specific.
No, if you actually do Matt Mercer voice acting, it gives you a list.
All right, well, I'll look up that then, since I can't find anything about his minis. Voice acting.
Well, he doesn't really...
He does paint them.
Yeah, he paints them, but it's not like the major thing he talks about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, the brand that I've been going with is Citadel Paints, like official Games Workshop stuff, because that's what I was essentially raised to use in the
mini world.
In the month or so that I've been doing this. I'm also working on a Shark Man right now. So
wait, like a were shark?
No, not a were shark, but I guess it's supposed to be some kind of monster. Well, yeah, it's a monster.
It's like a walking, talking shark.
It's a land shark.
It's literally a land shark.
Is it a bulette then? Is it like a shark on 4 legs?
No, it's got arms, and it has 2 stumpy dinosaur rhinoceros looking legs, but its arms have like claws, and it's got wrists and armor.
It might be a were-shark.
I don't know. That's not what the package said. It was just like a cheap $5 figure.
Huh.
It was pre-primed.
I don't know. Oh, speaking of pre-primed figures, D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, I think Wizards technically, they have these awesome new minis that are 2 to a pack, like $4, and they're pre-primed and ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I've been using. That's
they
where
are
I got
so good.
Those are the Blink Dogs and the Griffin that I have right now. I'm going to make it a Snow Griffin because I don't want it to be brown and boring. Because everything is brown. Every freaking thing is brown that I've seen, and that they just want things to be brown. Why? I don't understand.
Because Griffins, and I know it's just you go with the art of creativity with an artist than the actual what they want.
I don't know. I think the YouTube stream is working better now, though.
Well, that's good.
Yay!
I apologize to everybody.
It's
I
not-
won't be able to read the chat anymore because it's in the other room. So if you're saying something, I'm so sorry. I can't hear you, read you, whatever the term is in this case. But this stream shouldn't go down anymore.
Voice inside your head.
It's bad.
The voice in your head.
Yeah, the voice in my head is disappointed. Just massive amounts of disappointment.
Well, it is Murphy's Law at work.
I know, and it was going so well for like an hour.
I know, like, it didn't do this last week or the week before.
Yes,
Why is
but-
now so special?
Because things are happening tomorrow.
I bet you it's
Oh.
the amount of internet usage going out, and it's not good. They really need to fix this.
Yeah, because I just realized that the cause might actually be the thing that's happening this weekend.
It is probably that, and like,
Everybody trying to get the homework done.
well, here's the thing: what happens on this place? Lots of people in their rooms think that I can watch Netflix on 3 devices at the same time. I can queue up 4 Netflix videos. That's totally okay.
Like,
It's not.
Have you
It's just
seen
not.
people do that here?
Yes, I have.
Like, what is the possible motive? You can't watch that many things at once.
People here are very special.
Well, yeah, but nobody's that special.
This is why we came
Yeah.
up with a meme called It's Landmark.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just a new.
It's
no.
unfortunately true.
Why? This doesn't need to be a meme.
Well, not to mention they will play a game and watch Netflix at the same time. Like they'll have Netflix running on their TV or whatever, and then on their second screen or whatever on their computer, maybe they'll have like League of Legends or Overwatch or
those are games that really eat bandwidth too.
they do.
Yes,
And
they
then
do.
we can't have any.
Like I mean, I understand doing multiple things on multiple screens. I've like watched a video and played a game on watching on YouTube and playing on Steam. That's one thing.
But this but having to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to get decent internet.
Unfortunately, that happens to be true. I don't know what they're doing around here, but it ain't working. They need to like up the internet factor here.
Yeah. Supposedly they did. I guess they just
Supposedly.
did it. So, yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Worse than it was last time.
But it's probably because every 2 years technology gets better.
Right, but they need to not.
And all the technology here is still 2 years behind.
No, it's like 6 years behind.
It's 6 years behind.
Oh no. And I still don't know how to make the shark skin look really nice. I've got like a good I don't know, I'm sorry to bring it back to the topic at hand of the paintings and all
No,
that.
definitely. I love painting minis, so keep talking about that.
But yeah, so I have like a good few colors specifically for the shark. I don't have anything for his armor. Mm-hmm. I have something for the chains he has around his wrists.
Sure.
And I've got a good base layer down on his skin, and I've
Yep.
got a nice thing to layer on top of that. But I'm unsure how far I should take that layering. I've only got like a single layer of stuff, and it just kind of looks like weird tribal stripes right now, which is kind of cool, but
I mean, your best way to paint anyway is thin layers of paint, one on top of the other.
eh.
But let it dry.
But yeah, I mean, let it dry in between, obviously. But I mean, the biggest thing is you want to be happy with your mini. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's up to the artist to make it happy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So if you're happy with it, you're happy with it.
I'm kind of okay with it. I kind of want the skin to be a little more actually like a great white shark. That's and I've been looking for tutorials.
How so?
Like right now, it's kind of a darkish gray.
Right.
Put some blue in.
No, you don't need blue. She needs a lighter.
Yeah, I do, and I do have a lighter gray that I've put on top of it. But
Try
I'm
dry brushing.
Dry brushing.
It's a technique where you get a very stiff brush. You dab the paint on, wipe most of it off, and then...
Yeah, I know what dry brushing is.
Well, I mean, you do, but maybe the listeners don't.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
We have a wider audience.
We do. It's like 7 people. But still, it's something. I am proud of our 7 listeners that we may or may not have because of YouTube. But I am proud of it, and I'm happy they're here.
But
we're all happy
just
they're
the
here.
People, but you know, how many views do we get?
I don't know. I really don't. Probably like 7. The 7 we have.
Oh, but
4. The 4 we have.
But like the way that Citadel has their paint set up is like they have specific shades and mixes, I guess, for dry brushing.
They do, but don't use them.
Any particular reason why?
They're really really finicky, and they're one-trick ponies. You can't use them for other stuff. I paint almost exclusively with the base and the layer paints.
All right.
Almost exclusively, because they're versatile. You can use them for whatever you need them to be.
All right. I guess the next set of colors that I get would be the flesh tones, like
flesh tones are good.
Like human flesh tones.
Do you have any washes?
I have a single dark wash.
Like black or what?
It's on the black end of the scale. Which
is it Null Oil? Because that is the best black wash they ever made.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Null Oil.
That is, if you're gonna have one wash, that is the wash to have, because it is so perfect for a lot of situations. I myself have about 7 or 8 washes.
Yeah.
Yep. I have I have the black one. I've got a brown one. I've got a green one, a blue one, a gray blue one. I have a red one, a flesh tone one, and
I understand why why you would need most of these.
Yeah,
I can envision the situation for each one.
I have another one. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Oh, a sepia.
Huh.
Because if you put sepia on gold, it pops.
Really?
Sepia. What is it? Sepia or sepia? I think it's sepia.
I always figured it was always sepia to me.
Yeah. Sepia wash on gold is phenomenal.
That is a very useful tip. I need that. Thank you.
Oh yeah. I forget what the sepia is from GW Paints, but it's really, really good. Like if you're painting metal stuff, yeah. I mean, I've taken brass, like lighter brass, put on the sepia wash, and it turns into a really nice gold that isn't as rich as the other gold that they sell.
Ooh.
So you can you can layer on washes too. So if you want a darker sort of color out of it, you can lay it on.
So you get like 2 layers of the same wash or 2 different washes?
You can mix washes. I usually go 2 layers of the same wash. It's different effects.
Yeah.
Like
if you're trying to age something with a nice patina.
Aging, you want a dry brush and then follow wash on that.
All right,
yeah, dry brush followed by a wash, and if you're really feeling it, another dry brush.
Yeah, I always figured that the wash was the part that you save for the very, very end.
Yes and no. It depends on what you're doing. So like when I paint chainmail, base layer of silver.
Okay.
Then I throw in a wash.
Okay.
Dark wash, usually. Everything okay over there, Orange?
Yep.
Okay. Then I take my chainmail color again, maybe a lighter one, and I dry brush that over the chainmail. So not only do you have your base layer, you've got a deep color in the recesses and a lighter layer on top.
Yeah.
It creates a highlighting effect.
Yeah, I've only ever done that one time, and it was for a figurine that I painted for Bearman. It was a barbarian with a gold axe and a nice polar bear pelt on his head.
Right. White is surprisingly one of the hardest colors to paint.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
You basically paint it light gray and then dry brush white on top.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts and slightly counterintuitive, but...
Oh, here's another thing. Flesh, don't paint flesh tones directly on black primer or white primer.
Really?
Throw down a light brown first.
Like what kind of light brown? We talking leather brown or...
A little bit... You could go with a leather brown, but like
So I
sort
don't
of like a dirt clay brown.
So I don't want to lay down my Cadian flesh tone immediately.
No, you want to always paint a lighter brown over it. I'll get you the name of the paint. I can't remember it right now.
Under or over, you say?
Under. You paint down the brown on all the exposed flesh.
Okay.
Then you put down light, like watered down layers of your flesh tone over and over to build up a really solid but not too thick base, because flesh colors tend to be really thin.
Ah.
And then once you've got your base layer down, you can dry brush it and throw. Actually, you could throw your wash down first and then dry brush it, or dry brush it and then throw your wash down, depending on what kind of complexion you want them to have.
Huh. Yeah, because when I was looking at the stuff, the guy in the store was just like, you need these 3 or 4 specific things. They'll give you any flesh tone under the sun that you could possibly want, depending on the layers.
Yeah.
I'd have to say the favorite color that I've bought so far is called Blood for the Blood God.
That's not even a color. That is an effects paint they make.
Really?
Yeah, it's specifically for blood.
Well, then I guess that's why it looks so great on the teeth of the shark.
Yes. It's meant to look like viscera on the edge of blades and things like that. It's not, you can't paint normally with it.
And
it is the final touch type thing.
That also explains why it doesn't look so great on the shark's eyes.
Right. It's meant for blood.
All right.
It was probably near the texture paint for the bases and things like that. Yeah, it's I forget what they call them, but it's a special effects paint.
Yeah, it is like if something you're painting a monster and it just recently feasted and you find it in a dungeon.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, you can put it on claws.
You put it on claws, teeth, and weapons.
Pretty much armor if they've been There's a really cool thing you can do. You can take your brush in your hand and flick your thumb over it to spray.
I love that.
Staccato.
Spray it, yeah.
I love that.
There's also stipling brushes that if you want, for your shark, for instance, you can get a stipling brush and similar to a dry brush, get it painted, get most of it off, and then you can dab on, and it looks like texturing without actually having texture. Because the problem with models is unless the model itself has texture, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can put on there, save for like sand, which some people do, to get that texture.
Especially for crabs.
I should probably mention at this point that I've been painting models for 17 years now. That's why I know so much about this.
Well, I'm glad I have a handy reference right here then.
Yeah, well,
I don't expect you to share your paint with me, though.
I don't have it on me. I don't know where it is. I actually have to buy all my paints again. Most of them. They dried out. It was unfortunate. They were stored improperly.
Yeah, and you can't just add water to them.
You can and you can't. If they get really thick, you can thin them. Once they dry, best of luck. You can sometimes have luck rehydrating.
Yeah.
I didn't. And they're expensive too, and that makes me upset.
They're like $4 a pop.
Yeah, they used to be
very tiny amount of paint.
But you're not going to use it all. You will probably have it dry out on you unless you're painting a lot of models before you run out of it.
And I'm only just getting into it. I doubt I'll use all of it.
Right. I mean, you will eventually. But I mean, if you're painting a lot of D&D minis, you're not going to. I mean, the only times I ran out of paint was when I was painting like Warhammer 40K armies, Warhammer Fantasy armies, War Machine battle hosts, things like that. I was painting a lot of models all at once or in a very short span of time. And vehicles take all of your paint.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I painted a Land Cruiser from the Warhammers, like the Space Marines. That thing took half a thing of paint.
Half of that tiny little what's it?
Yes, it took a lot. A lot. Multiple layers, too.
There's the explanation, the layers.
Well, I mean, the Land Cruiser, how do I put this in terms people understand?
It cruises on land.
Well, no. I mean, size-wise. If you were to take a box of Oh, help me out here, Orange.
Matches.
No.
Grapefruit.
Is it
No.
smaller than a bread box?
It is smaller than a bread box. It's, you know those old pencil sharpeners?
Yeah.
The boxy ones?
Yeah.
It's about that size.
You mean that one in there?
Yeah, the one in the other room. Yeah. It's about that size. It's not as tall, but it's a little wider. So it's a pretty hefty size. You know, it's...
Yeah, these miniatures, if at some point, stop being mini.
They are
Especially in
scaled.
Scaled.
Warhammer.
Yeah. Well, I think Warhammer uses the 1/25th scale. So it is 1/25th the size of what it would be if it was life size.
D&D, a D&D
Is
on the
also
other
1/25th
hand is
scale.
depending on the monster.
Well, it's still 1/25th scale normally. Most models are 1/25th scale. The most common ones. There are, I mean, historical models I think are on a different scale. Certain board game models are also on a different scale, but the general sort of what has been decided on as a standard is about 1/25th. So, when you get a 1-inch tall Space Marine, that's actually a 7.5, 8 foot tall being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Space Marines are huge,
Yes, they are.
just in and of themselves.
And cannot die.
I've been corrected. It's the Land Raider, not the Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser is a Toyota car. Land Raider. That's how long it's been since I played 40K, by the way, that I can't even remember the name of my tank. Yes. I am a proud nerd. I thank you so much for correcting me, because I would have gone on saying that for about half an hour.
Bearman says that he's ashamed of you.
Is he?
Yes,
He didn't know that.
he's totally ashamed.
He
of
did
you.
not know that.
Yeah, he
He
is.
didn't know that.
He's been playing a lot of 40K online.
Yeah, well, I haven't.
So, regardless, he is ashamed of you.
Well, he can join the club.
You do have other kind of minis, though.
I have a ton of other minis.
Yeah.
So I have probably close to 500 Warhammer Fantasy models.
Oh, geez.
I have probably 200 to 300 40K models. Not in any, they're stored in storage. I've got probably 50 or 60 D&D minis. And I've got a good amount of War Machine and Hordes minis, but I don't really do much with them anymore. They're really cool. I just don't do much with them anymore. I haven't played in ages.
Yeah, so more
I used to have time.
So-
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
bit of a more practical question on the base. When you use the base, do you literally cover the entire figure with that base, or just bits?
No. Base. That's kind of a confusion. A base paint is what goes under the layers. So when you paint your chainmail, you paint it the base silver.
But just the chainmail and not the rest of the figure.
No, you don't want to paint your flesh silver. Here's another thing about metallics.
Unless you're like a Jin or something.
Metallics are the last thing you should ever paint, because if you use a metallic, you have to change your water,
Yeah.
because the metallics have metal powder in them.
Oh,
And
goody.
that metal powder will get in your brush. It'll get in the fairing that holds the bristles in place. Once you use a metallic paint, you wash your brush and you rinse out your cup.
I see.
But if you're going from metallic to metallic, not that big a deal. Metallic to other paints, therein lies a problem.
I'm gonna have to write all this down. These are actual notes in a handbook that should
Yeah.
exist somewhere.
They were taught to me by many people over the long time I've been painting minis.
You just find the people that know how to paint, and then you just make a giant, lovely.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
hints on painting something that's meant to be translucent?
You kind of can't.
Well, no, I mean one of the blink dogs that I mentioned earlier. One of the figures is a blink dog coming out of the portal from the other dimension, and part of that mini is the portal.
Is it the clear plastic?
Yeah.
So what you do with that,
Do you just use a wash, or
you do your best to mask that off. Masking off something is you tape around it so you don't get paint on the clear portal. What I would do, it's really hard because clear plastic is something that doesn't take well to paint. You could throw a wash on it, it wouldn't stick that well. It's not primed. There's nothing for the paint to grip onto.
But then how do you get it to look all like blue or green or portally dimension weirdness?
If I think here,
It doesn't have to be solid, obviously. I want it to retain the translucentness. I just want
LEDs.
You could.
I don't know how to.
I would try.
Things.
I would try throwing a wash on it. See what happens.
You
The
could
worst thing
also,
that would happen is you could just wipe it off with a cloth.
Yeah,
what I would do. You know how in Oblivion,
Yeah.
the Oblivion portals were like a deep red around the outside, and then you could see through them.
Yeah.
What I might do is paint, maybe for Blink Dog, a purple. You know, put a dark purple, then you dry brush. You just dry brush, throw a wash in there, but so it looks like it's kind of energy. And then you could do one of two things. One, paint purple, like ink on the inside of the thing and see what happens. Or you could paint a picture on the other side to see what's going through that portal, so you can see the other side of the portal. If you wanted to keep the clear effect, I would ask them to make the plastics like colored. It's the easiest way to do it, honestly.
And there's no way, so there's no real way to like paint the plastic.
Not to my knowledge. Again, try a wash, see what happens.
Because I've seen at least one person paint, like have this kind of trouble painting a phoenix that had that sort of thing going on. Glowing. It was supposed, he wanted it to be glowing-ish.
Yeah.
This is why you get custom models that have LED lights in them.
Yeah, but those are like hyper expensive even.
Somebody in the chat on YouTube, I keep walking over to it, that's why I disappear, suggested magic markers.
Magic markers? Really?
That's actually correct. That would be a permanent, Sharpies could work.
Sharpies could work.
I would test it on a piece of clear plastic first.
Outside of the model?
Always test your things on other things. That is what I've learned over the years. I've, Warhammer models and things, they come on sprues. I would keep those sprues. Also, plastic models that you get on sprues, always wash with soap and water.
Yeah?
Yep, they have mold release on them.
Sprues?
When all the parts are separate and you have to glue it together. Always wash them with soap and water because they've got mold release on them. The plastic models, the D&D pre-primed ones, don't worry about it. They're primed. They're good to go. But other things you want to really make sure that you wash them with soap and water. Metal ones especially. They've got some really bad mold release on them.
Quite toxic.
No, it's not toxic. It just makes the paint fall off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lick it either.
If you're licking paint, you've got other problems.
So, funny story about that. GW paint is all non-toxic. It's not going to hurt you. Well, a lot of artists like to put their brushes in their mouth to make the point again. Well, one of our friends painted so much that he was always doing this, and he would get paint on his lips. And we're like, stop eating the paint. He's like, but it's delicious. I'm like, it doesn't matter. And this is from across the room in a hobby shop. We're yelling at each other, and he's getting yelled at from all these places from people saying, don't eat the paint.
But it's delicious.
Well, he had to say something.
Might as well make it funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, so I do have some concerns as to the effectiveness of dry brushing because this shark figure is very smooth skin. I would stipple. Yeah, that's what it's a special type of brush called a stipling brush. It's very, very, it's almost like hay. It's very stiff. It's got a little bit of give, but you can really...
Yeah, you just...
And then you just dab it. You dab it or you stroke with it?
You dab it. It's a stipple effect. It's
a dabbing only brush.
Yeah, it's a quick dab.
It's like if you do, it's like with a pencil and you're trying to do the staccato effect.
Yes.
Kind of thing. But you do it lightly. As I said, you put just a slightly lighter color on it and try that. That's the best thing I come up with. I'm surprised though, because I figured every model that I've gotten from the pre-primed ones are pretty rough.
No, this one is not. I'm not even certain if it was primed or not, but the paint stuck to it well enough.
That's primed. Then it was definitely primed.
So, it was still like super smooth. Like And
that's a good priming job then, actually.
it just came that way, and I
Yeah.
know shark skin isn't exactly the smoothest thing.
No, this is why you put some sand in it.
Yeah. I wouldn't do the sand thing, by the way. It'll ruin your paints if you mess up.
Yeah,
True.
I don't think I want to dunk my figurine in the sand pit. behind-
Yeah, you don't. The only time I use sand, and I mean this, is on the base. So when you have a base, especially for like Warhammer minis and things like that, the base is pretty plain. There's not much going on there.
Yeah.
What I do is I put one of a few things. One, I put sand, and then you can paint over the sand after everything is knocked off and the glue is set for a while and it's really there. The other thing that I do is I put flock, it's supposed to look like grass. The other thing I do is static grass, and you can buy little bits of static grass that you can glue on like a flocked or sanded base, and it looks really, really nice with minimal effort. You just need some PVA glue.
Flocked, is that like
Or
for
PVC? Is it PVC? No, it's PVA glue.
PVCs are the pipes?
Yeah, PVCs are the pipe. I was like, well, I'm getting all my words
Those
mixed
are
up.
those are the pipes that you paint
it's
in
the
hot
fake-
glue for your steampunk guns.
It's the fake the grass sort of thing.
Yeah.
for like model trains and the like.
Yes.
People use it for modeling, yes, for model trains and for like
Yep.
war scenes.
Yeah, it's a lot for diorama, but model painters have been using it for ages
Oh, that's
to really spruce up their bases.
that's really nice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking again at some of the pre-primed miniatures. Some of the like wizards are really cool with the effects that they come with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really, really cool.
Yeah, a friend of mine had, I believe, a wizard doing that, and she also wanted to be able to paint that and make it all blue and stuff. She succeeded.
It's not going to stay translucent though. Not well.
Well, I mean,
although try the magic marker thing. That sounds really, really cool.
It was still pretty translucent, and it looked very much like this character was water bending.
Yeah.
So-
What I like to try, anyway, is what's the thing I'm trying to say? Because I can't think of it right now.
I don't know.
You make it solid, but make it look like it's energy. It's again the layering thing that I talked about a little earlier. It tends to work out pretty well. And you can even make it so like it looks like light is spreading onto your character's arm. If
Yeah.
you're really good. I'm not that good. I try really, really hard, but
Sort of like a liquid, sort of reflective paint.
it's basically it's how you paint. You basically, instead of making it just like brown on the arm, like if they had like a leather shirt or something on, you fade out the color that's of the glowing magic effect, so it looks like the light has been cast. It works okay.
And you got to have knowledge of your light sources in those cases, and
Yeah,
you got
it's
to
a lot
be
of time.
consistent with it.
It's a lot of time more trouble than it's worth, to be honest with you.
Eh.
I'm also looking at these, and these are cool, and I want like at least 2 of each of these kinds of figures that I can work with.
Right?
Yeah.
Money's tight.
Money's always tight because we're nerds.
Oh my gosh, how the heck did they get this Phoenix skeleton to stand out and the rest of it to be fire?
You know,
Or is that just CG?
I don't question things anymore. I just say,
no.
oh my God.
You just, yeah, man.
Well, there has to be a method. There's no way they actually got that. That is solid. There's no way they got that to actually be translucent. That's dumb.
People are really good at painting.
How do you do that?
I know a lot about the techniques, and I'm really off my game because I haven't painted in a long, long while.
You're rusty.
I'm rusty. But like, I just look at some things that people have done, and I'm just like, oh my God, how did you do that?
Yeah, have you ever
Yeah,
like...
but they've been painting for like, I want to say 20 to 30 years.
Oh, yeah, some people are just naturally good at it.
That too.
Have you ever done that thing where you like look at other people's work and you're like, why do I even bother trying?
No, I try not to think that way because I know that this is something they're really, really good at. And I'm training myself to be that good. You know, it comes, some things come naturally to other people And some people have to
Sometimes
work
takes
for it.
years.
Yeah. And I'm generally happy with what I paint, so I don't need to feel bad.
Artist preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes I just feel a little discouraged when I see all these amazing figures, and but then I've only been doing this for like less than a month.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Try again.
I mean, I look back at some of the stuff that I painted when I was like 8 years old. It's good for an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But we all went through that phase.
But like, I could without trying do better than I did back then.
Yeah. For sure.
And some people like going back and repainting models of old that they've done. I don't. It's the history there.
Yeah.
True that.
You see your first models and you're like, yep, these are an old friend, and this is the new stuff.
The new
see
stuff
how
that looks
you've
way better,
improved.
and I'll actually use them.
I mean, I'll use them anyway. But like, I've got some things that I just down and dirty quick painted because I needed them to be there for whatever reason. And they look okay. I mean, they don't look amazing. Like, if you looked at them really close, you'd be like, yeah, that was a quick job, but
And apparently a quick job in a lot of these constitutes 4 hours. That's a quick job.
Yeah, well, I mean, a quick job here was throw down a color, then dry brush another color on top, and call it good.
So that's like what the process you're describing is. It sounds like less than an hour.
It was about 10 minutes, if that. No, it was like 5 minutes. I painted it on. It was a scarab swarm, so I had 2 of them to paint. And what I did was I painted the sand color after I'd primed them, of course. Painted the sand color, painted the beetles, dry brushed the sand, dry brushed the beetles. Done.
Yeah, that's definitely a quick job. And
But I mean, I'm not going to spend hours and hours on a scarab swarm. It's not on my high priority list.
That's fair enough.
You don't go into amazing detail like looking at like it's an actual scarab.
I mean, you could. You'd be wasting time. I mean, if that's something you want to do, go for it. Don't let me say it's a waste of time. For me, it is a waste of time.
That's why there's professionals out there.
There are professionals out there, but I mean, I doubt they spend, billions of hours on a scarab swarm.
They do actually. I like the first guy that I was learning this stuff from. He spent like between 15 to 16 hours on some figures.
Oh, the longest I've ever spent on a figure is about 24 hours total of painting time. This was like a figure I wanted to be. This was the head of my army. This guy was gonna be.
This is the guy.
He is. Like, I still go back and I'm like, wow, I really did a good job on this. I mean, it's not professional. I mean, it looks really good. I bet it's better than the average person could do because I spend so much time on it. But, it's not like the GW Ard boys who like paint like amazing.
Yeah.
But they're like amazing painters.
Like, you think you'd ever be able to enter it in a contest or anything?
Probably. I mean, it would probably do decent.
Probably an amateur.
Yeah, it would be an amateur, not a professionals. But like, it would probably do. It'd be well received, I'm sure, but not like a winning one. Maybe. I mean, unless people really liked it, then maybe it would win. I don't know.
Because in a lot of Warhammer tournaments that I've heard of, there's.
Sorry, you just.
Yeah.
We're having a little bit of trouble picking you up. You're a little far from the mic.
Sorry.
No worries.
But in a lot of Warhammer tournaments that I've heard of, like, the skill that goes into the paint job is part of the score that you get.
Yeah, if Warhammer tournaments were still run.
Well, they are, though.
Not officially. They are done by other places, but Games Workshop has stopped running them.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's unfortunate. They used to run games.
Unless you're talking about England.
No, even in England, they've stopped. It's really unfortunate. They used to have Games Day, which was like the biggest thing ever. It was amazing. I never got to go because they stopped it before I was old enough. But they would have one a few places in the U.S., in Europe. It was great. Then they condensed it to like one place in the U.S., like 2 places in Europe, and they just stopped. Like, they just stopped. It wasn't popular enough because they kept changing the game to where people didn't want to play it. They were playing older editions of the game.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Because, like any game, it's always changing, and a lot of people didn't like the changes.
Yeah.
Frankly, the game I was most into, Warhammer Fantasy, doesn't exist anymore. They stopped making it, and they changed it into Age of Sigmar. I don't know how to play Age of Sigmar. What am I going to do with all these bits and pieces that I bought over the years, painted, and now I can't use? You tell me.
Repurpose?
I mean,
Can they be repurposed?
I use them as D&D figs now. But I have, like, hundreds of dwarves. I'm never going to use hundreds of dwarves in a D&D game. At the same time, anyway.
Unless you're going against a droven army.
Well, if I'm doing armies, I'm not going to put them all out. I'm going to, like, use one figure as a unit rather than as a single, thing.
Yeah, that's a bit more economical, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't take up an entire room.
But like what I was
Except
trying to
some
get
games
at
do.
was that for these, I guess, unofficial tournaments that still happen.
Oh, yeah. No, shops tend to run tournaments because people want to play.
No, it wasn't like at a shop or anything. It was at a convention.
Oh, yeah. So convention
yes.
tournaments. Yeah, those definitely still happen. Run by the convention, of course.
Yeah. But like the fact that the paint job matters at all, when I would think that the gameplay and the skill in the plays would be what matter here.
Yeah.
I'm baffled as to why the paint job matters.
It depends on the
when
con.
you're actually playing the
It depends
game.
on the con. A lot of cons don't care if they're painted or not. A lot of cons require that they are painted. A lot of tournaments, I should say, not cons. They have to be painted so that you can tell what they are. Especially in War Machine and Hordes tournaments, facing matters, and they're round bases. So there's the way you determine is there's generally a line on the front of the base that cuts it in half, and then the front is your front arc and your back arc. Those have to be on your models, or else you cannot compete.
But yeah, I mean, I know there's like an infinite number of different factions within the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
There's too many.
And apparently every single one of them is canon.
Yeah.
In its own way.
Yeah, they just want some paint on them. I probably personally would not participate in a tournament where they judged you and part of your points were on paint. Like if that was a separate contest that was just separate from the gameplay contest,
yeah,
perfectly fine. Together, that's not a fair contest.
Yeah, and there are contests where only the painting does matter.
Right. Yeah, they are painting competitions.
Yeah, but like when you're actually playing the game, I mean,
it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter, but for some reason it does, and you also have to, and also your knowledge of the rules is like tested and quizzed or something.
Well, there are two types of grade of model, basically. There is tabletop ready and contest ready. Tabletop ready are your models, your rank and file soldiers. You're not going to spend 16 hours on each one. It's not feasible unless you're doing the squad painting competition.
Yeah, nobody has that kind of time unless they're a pro.
Unless they're a pro and that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
No. And then you've got your single models, which you might spend a lot of time on because they are the head of your army. They are the figurehead. That is the kind of thing you would put in a contest.
Yeah.
But you're not going to do that, especially like when I was painting Warhammer Fantasy. I have 20-something dwarves in a unit. I have like 6 units. I'm not going to spend an exorbitant amount of time on everything. I would batch paint. I would paint one part on every dwarf, then do the next part, and the next part, and the next part.
Set up an assembly line.
Yeah, it's basically an assembly line of one person. Me. But it led to quality models. They weren't the best, but they were quality.
Yeah, so, and like the process is the same. You have your base coat that only covers the parts that you want it to cover,
right, your
not the whole
base layer
thing.
goes on. So if you've got a red shirt on and flesh and brown hair, you're going to paint base red on the shirt. You're going to paint base flesh, actually light brown, and then your base flesh on the skin, and base brown on your beard and your hair. Then you're going to move on, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So I imagine like to streamline the process, you would just like do the red.
Yep.
red.
Every model gets red. Every model in the unit gets red. Every model in the unit gets blue. Every model in the unit gets green. And you just go through like that. The metals get last. Then you wash them and dry brush them, whatever you need to do. Then done.
And then you've got your army.
Then you've got a unit, and then you repeat it. a million more times.
Yeah, because there's many units.
It's the way it works best is if you're with a group of friends and you're all painting and you're all chatting away while you're doing it. It makes it less tedious and makes it more likely you're going to stay on task.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Or at least you have, like, I don't know, a podcast on in the background.
Yeah, I mean, that can help. I sometimes listen to music, but it got really boring just painting the same models over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
So I would do that only when I was with friends, and it worked really well. You know, there would be 4 of us sitting in like a square table, and we're all painting and like, hey, look at this. This looks really cool. Hey, that does look really cool. You know, I know a friend of mine works night auditing for hotels.
Yeah.
So he's the guy who sits there overnight. He gets to paint his models while he does that.
That's super cool.
Yeah, he works at like an inn, so it's cool. So he can just work and paint. So that's what he does. He's getting paid. Obviously, he has to do his job. But like in the off time, he can do whatever he needs to do.
That's super neat, actually, having that kind of time.
Yeah, I mean,
while
if I had
also
that kind of,
being productive.
right, exactly. If I had that kind of time, whoo,
You'd be doing a lot more things.
I'd be doing a lot more things.
You'd be painting right now.
I'd probably be taking a nap, actually.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
Everyone
yes, you would.
naps all around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
that's
do
what-
that, young Zuck. Jesus.
Oh,
Here it comes, a real one.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
no.
those were fake.
It led to real ones anyway.
Oh, yes, kind of.
Oh my.
Oh my! I haven't talked about painting in a long time.
Well,
Yeah, you
it's-
talked for a long time.
I did. We did. We've talked almost an hour about painting.
Well, yeah, because it's just good stuff to know.
It is.
It's a nice little topic. I don't know if you've ever talked on it before here.
I think I touched on it at some point. I must have. Right?
Like at some.
A little bit, but not to that full extent.
Not to that full extent. I've never had somebody who like wanted to keep talking about it.
Oh, I would love to keep talking about it. In fact, I'd like to bring in the stuff that I've done and, I don't know, like get your recommendations, you professional person, you.
I am so not a professional.
You're professional compared-
I am just a practiced amateur.
You're professional compared to me.
Yes, but you're going to surpass me, Miss Art Student.
You know what? It's an offshoot of my education.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, see, you could probably get credit for it. I can't.
Oh, snap. I never even considered that. I could make that my capstone.
Oh, man, you totally could.
I totally could. Oh, that would cost
Jeez.
so much money.
Oh, my God, it would, yes.
How exactly do I beg for funding for such a thing?
You don't want to know.
I could tell you,
Yeah.
but you
Does
probably
it-
don't want to hear it.
Does it involve doing like washing professors' cars or something?
Probably, actually. It'd probably be like a fundraiser type
No,
thing.
there's only one person on campus you need to go to, but dude, that's good luck with that.
Yeah. Anyway, capstone, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is like the final thing. It's like one of the requirements to graduate here.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
It's a massive. If anybody had,
It's a semester to 2 semester long project.
well, it's now 2 semesters. It was a semester.
Yeah, they made it harder.
Why do they make it harder though?
Because they love us.
No. I mean, it was a semester. Now it's now 2 semesters.
I know.
that makes it harder. It has to be more
It also
impressive
kinda makes
now.
it easier. Because you've got more time to prep for it.
Yeah, but then you also have to. If you have more time, you have to make it more impressive.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
No.
Like my plan A was 3D printed cosplay armor.
That'd be really cool. Do
You
that.
can do that.
But then
Do that.
But then I like actually saw the 3D printers we have available, and they're kind of small.
They're not great. You'd have to put
They're not big enough to make the cosplay armor I had in mind.
no, but you could probably do pieces at a time.
Probably. Like I didn't have any illusions about creating an entire chest plate all at once.
They have to be in it with your minor.
She's in the studio art.
Yeah, I'm the BA for studio art.
Okay, so
yeah, no, it
you're
works out.
fine. Anything in the arts,
The arts.
Arts,
meaning the fine arts, not the literal arts.
Yes. You know, I've long held that painting figures is a form of art.
It really is, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it involves paint. You have to have knowledge of your shades and your color wheel.
I mean, and it's such a creative outlet. Like you were saying with the griffin earlier. Do a snow griffin. Do a purple griffin. Who cares? It's your model.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's your prerogative.
Yeah.
because
You paid for the model. You paid for the paint. Do what you want to do. What makes you happy?
Yeah, what makes me happy is having magical animals that look like magical animals.
Then do that.
Not everything being brown.
No, I mean, the reason griffins are brown is because they're based off eagles and lions, and they're
things-
brownish.
Browns
generally.
and golds.
Yeah.
They're
and-
tawny. They're a tawny color.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I definitely understand the lion bit. But why does the eagle always have to be brown?
Because they're usually based off the bald eagle,
Yeah.
which are brown with a white head.
Yeah, but then that's like getting too much. You're getting too much Murica in my D&D.
Well, I mean, I think it was always based off at least the bald eagle, if not one of the other eagles.
Depends on what griffin you're talking about.
Yeah, there's different types of griffins.
No, it's just like a generic griffin figure.
If
Yeah.
it's a griffin that has like horse hooves, then that's completely different.
No, that's a hippogriff.
That's a hippogriff.
Yeah.
And they have horns. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, but hippogriffs are actually really cool. I like hippogriffs.
if you're looking at the website that I'm looking at right now for the
I saw the griffin, yeah.
Yeah,
You could paint that
it's
as whatever
that
kind
one.
of griffin you wanted.
yeah.
I mean,
was
I
also
painted a
tempted to
griffin
get-
that was black. It was
Really?
it was a night griffin. It was a nightwing griffin.
Ooh, that's super cool.
And it's super easy. You gotta paint it black, then you dry brush a dark gray on it.
Ooh,
Then you throw a black wash on it.
that I'm imagining that right now. It sounds.
It
super
looks
neat.
really, really nice. It doesn't look like pure black, so you could definitely. It's a pretty heavy dark gray dry brush, though. Like you want it so that when you paint over it with the wash, it's still black, but not super black.
Yeah.
You want the different variation in the texture on the feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for like the snow griffin, I would go with a light gray base and then dry brush white.
Yes.
And then
You would start with a darker gray, a medium gray. I'd say medium gray, about 50, maybe 60, 40% maybe, 40% gray. Then work up, and you want a darker gray in the grooves, so that when you dry brush the white as your final bit, the white pops.
I see. So
And the
then-
lighter gray you go. I mean, no white on an animal is truly, truly white unless you're talking about some really Arctic like
actual albinos.
yeah. I mean, Arctic hares I think can be pretty white, but yeah. You want like either if you look at white fur, there is actually some gray in there because of how lighting works.
Yeah, and like they say, there's really no such thing as a truly white or black horse.
No, there's because
There's always like bits of brown or gray in there.
yeah, it's just how animals are. But like a griffin is a magical animal, as you said, so it could theoretically be that way.
True.
So base medium gray, wash dark color. The dark.
You could throw a wash, but you don't need to in this case. Your texture and your highlights are coming from dry brush.
All right.
Yeah, so you want to dry brush heavy.
So it would just be then just the base and then heavy dry brushing.
Yes, the base of medium gray, and then you might want to throw a little bit of darkerness, like maybe a little bit of brown around the feet, because walking around.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want. The claws themselves, you could do a yellow like an eagle's talons, like
Yeah,
the beak also.
That would be the only like proper color that would be in there.
You could do a black beak. I know some snowy griffins have black beaks.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, you could do little variations here and there, but
Or a
overall,
ferocious beak.
griffins are surprisingly easy to do.
Yeah.
Especially stone
For
griffins.
some reason, easier than this shark. I don't know why.
Because shark men are also humanoid, and humanoids have tons of different colors on them. Monsters you'll find, big beasts anyway, a lot easier.
Yeah, I'll show you that
Horses,
shark
too.
figure at some point.
Yeah, no, I'd love to help you out with that.
Yeah, is super gnarly, and I get the blood on it.
Anyway, final thoughts, because we have like a minute.
Oh no,
Final thoughts, Scuddy.
I am disappointed at your phenomenal count still.
Phenomenal. Does that help?
That definitely helps.
Good. What's our total count on that?
Well,
26.
Yeah, right now it's 26. It was.
Yeah.
It was 16.
Well, I'm glad I counted correctly. Orange, final thoughts for the night.
Eh.
Eh?
Eh.
Really? That's all you got?
Well, we've been talking about painting for like an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
Eh.
But You can't stop a nerd once they go on a tangent.
Oh, no, no,
True.
no, no, no.
You do not stop a nerd.
We are the king
once
of
they start
tangents.
talking.
Woo.
Except I'm stopping some nerds talking right now because
Aw.
this has been Talking Nerdy, a really weird and messed up one thanks to OBS and YouTube. But nonetheless, it has been Talking Nerdy. Thank you so much for listening. This has been DJ Frost.
DJ Orange.
And DJ Scuddy.
Please tune in next week where we will hopefully have a lot less technical problems. And it'll be a phenomenal show. 27. Oh, yeah. Anyway, have yourselves a wonderful evening, and we will see you next week.